Do you often think about your own existence? Why you came here? Where you came from? Why you are existing as you and not existing as somebody else? Does it seem logical that you are in this body but not in that body? All the billions of bodies existing here, and you're in your one only. You've perhaps even thought before that this is just the luck of the draw, that you have grown into your being by chance, that you had no say in all of this, no hand in your own creation, that this was merely random. But as we observe matter and phenomena in the universe, the trees, the insects, the flowers, everything, we find the highest levels of intelligence and purposeful intent everywhere. A puppy grows into a dog and gives birth to more dogs, following a sequence of growth that ensures the dog will follow the design of its own biology and not diverge from its intended course. There is no chance of a dog turning into a cat, for it is destined to become a dog. It is written into its cells. It is coded in the biology of every living being. As a particular type of flower will grow into that type of flower following a highly precise and complex pattern of construction, development, and growth. We have mapped this consistently occurring pattern of growth and dubbed it the Fibonacci sequence. It can be found everywhere in nature. The experience of this sequence resonates in our brains as aesthetic beauty. The closer to this sequence, the higher the aesthetic and the higher pleasure we experience from its appearance. A visual representation of the universal design. Beauty represents the true intended pattern of growth, the true nature of the universal code. In essence, beauty represents truth. It is nature's intended expression. That's why we strive towards it. We are all seeking beauty, all seeking truth. The closer we live in tune with nature, the closer to this ideal we become. Weston Price discovered this almost a century before with his studies of jaw malocclusion rates and facial development patterns in urban dwellers versus tribespeople, and concluded that the natural diets and natural lifestyles facilitated natural growth and thus more aesthetic development of the facial features. The only way in which we can get closer to the attainment of this beauty is through adherence to nature and all of nature's laws. Animals know this instinctively. All lifestyle habits that oppose natural law will carry the costs of deformity, degeneration, and ultimately unattractiveness. This is why semen retention brings us closer to the truth, to the source of life and its infinite power. As we learn to conserve our sexual power and only use these vital resources when absolutely necessary for the purposes of procreation. As seen with animals in the wild, the habit of constantly losing our sexual fluids via stimulation is not in line with nature. Those on this journey seeking to align themselves to natural living will experience pain and struggle. The road to purify oneself from impurity is pain. Quitting alcohol is pain. Quitting drugs is pain. Overcoming lust is pain. The most negative aspect of semen retention is also the most powerful. Without the option of release, you cannot escape your life. You must face it. Ever since you started releasing your energies, you have been able to temporarily escape the pain of your existence and avoid facing your difficult life. You have had an escape door from rejection, from dissatisfaction, from loneliness, from sadness, and from every other negative energy that infiltrates your being. The escape, however, was temporary, and the use of this escape carried a greater cost. Once you lock this door, you are forced to come face to face with the pain of your own existence, your own demonic entities that inhabit your soul. This is where your battle begins, learning to acclimatize to these dark energies. Do not avoid a hard life. A hard life can be a good life. Be careful of associating an easy life with a good life. A good life is oftentimes hard. An easy life is oftentimes unfulfilling. Take the hard path. It is there that you will seek fulfillment. You must learn to overcome hard things. Experience life's range of emotions. Go through bouts of sadness and hardship. Hardships mean nothing. It is your response to hardship that means everything. Best to channel your energies into a craft or an activity. If you don't know what to do, then start running. Go outside, run to the shop, run around the park. Tomorrow, double it. Continue running every day until you can complete a marathon, then enter one. Don't get caught up in deciding what you want to do. If you can't decide on anything, then just decide on anything. You can change the activity later, but take action now. If the day is not over, take physical action today. You're a physical being. Do not deny this part of your existence. Reading without movement, study without action is not useful. If it's already nighttime, schedule the action tomorrow. Do not meditate on it. Engage in the action with haste. The exertion of your non-sexual faculties will be paramount during sexual conservation. The brain and the testes are energetically in competition with each other, a fight for resources. With the conservation of your sexual forces, you allow for surplus energy of all other aspects of your body. This energy must be used up. It is an admitted fact that as the mental faculties become more and more developed, the sex appetite grows constantly less. It is strongest among those of the lowest intelligence. As the lower passions become subdued, the forces formerly wasted are transformed into power, and not until then does man really begin to live. Life takes on a different aspect than ever before. Your thoughts and aims are of a different nature. No longer content to live for yourself alone or to follow selfish aims, you become more altruistic and are ever ready to extend a helping hand to your fellow creatures. You become en rapport with your Creator and seek to live in harmony with His laws. In fact, regeneration means the awakening of the higher consciousness. You must learn something and learn it well. You have been asked to play with the cards you've been dealt. Do not wish for better cards, but learn to play better. Everyone has good cards and bad cards. You just can't see others' bad cards as easily as you can see your own. Don't let that stop you from feeling compassion for others. Everyone is in a constant battle for their lives. Everyone plays a character on stage, but behind the scenes, behind their masks, they live a different life which you know little of. The people around you are oftentimes more sensitive than you think. Your presence is affecting them a lot more than you may know. Do not wish after other people's lives. They are battling demons that you are unaware of. Be thankful that at least your own demons are the ones that you're familiar with. To know your own enemy allows you to prepare effectively. Although you can't change the cards, you can learn to use them to your advantage, to play to your strengths. This is where your power lies. You are capable of so much work and so much change that is needed in this world. You are needed here now. Entities come into existence on this plane because there is a necessity for their existence. There is nothing random to your existence. You are supposed to be here, reading this now. There is a reason these words found you. This information was meant for you. It is because you are a seeker and you're seeking truth. The entire history of everything that has happened has resulted in you being placed right here, right now. This is exactly where you need to be. Your current position is as purposeful as the entire existence of this world and everything in it. Do not run from hardship. Do not run from grief. Do not run from death. Death is necessary, as without it there could be no life. Without up, there is no down. Without dark, there is no light. Everything in existence is made up of its own opposite, the law of polarity, a central tenet of Hermetic philosophy. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. There was a time when you didn't exist. Now a time when you do exist. Then a time when you won't exist. And then a time when you will exist. This flux of the universe is merely a vibration, a wave of fluctuations passing in and out, up and down, back and forth, each polarity allowing for the existence of its natural opposite. Let these waves wash over you without pushing or pulling, without holding on, just letting go. Everything is unfolding in every way exactly how it is meant to. Regard yourself as a cloud in the flesh, because you see, clouds never make mistakes. Did you ever see a cloud that was misshapen? Did you ever see a badly designed wave? No, they always do the right thing. But if you will treat yourself for a while as a cloud or a wave and realize that you can't make a mistake whatever you do, because even if you do something that appears totally disastrous, it will all come out in the wash somehow or another. Then through this capacity you will develop a kind of confidence, and through confidence you will be able to trust your own intuition. On semen retention, you are opening the door to your traumatic experiences and facing them head-on. To face your fears, to face your failures, to face your demons. This is the cure. Retention will give you insights into how to deal with pain, how to live with pain and become stronger. It is not that you should avoid pain. It is that you should become strong enough to be able to endure it, to take pain on in a positive way, to accept your hardships as a challenge to rise to and not be defeated by. It will bring you closer to nature, closer to beauty, closer to the truth of your existence. This attitude affects your visual image. It creates a quality of person that is to be reflected in the face and appearance. Thoughts crystallize into actual things. What we feel in our heart, harbor in our mind, think about, dream about, will in time develop from these tiny seeds into full growth. Hating someone will not develop your love qualities. A revenge seed cannot bring you anything but trouble. If we want to have friends, we must be friendly. If we want to love, we must have love. Whatever you send to another draws out of them the same kind of qualities. There is a law that regulates thought, which works out just as true as any other law. In India, the developed yogis say, "If a man purposely does me wrong, I will return him my ungrudging love. The more evil comes from him, the more good shall go from me." The developed person of the coming day will understand how injurious are discordant thoughts and will no more think of letting them into his mind than he would of taking some deadly poison. Your present character is the result of the life you have lived. An adept at character reading does not have to inquire of your past history to unmask your real traits. He is able to read at a glance your thoughts and desires. When we see a face that is all tired and sour, you can tell the owner of the face never thought of beauty and joy, but instead lived a selfish and vicious life. When we see a face that shows a pleasant and agreeable disposition, we know that person has lived an unselfish, harmonious life. The storage of your sexual energies will grow inside you. That magic you feel when you meet a charming man, that same magic you experience seeing a beautiful woman, the same electricity inside an inspirational leader of the people. The same magic inside of a musical composition that moves you deeply. They are all the same charge of electricity, all of the same nature. They all come from the same source, the source of life.